Hi friends, I am making like a paper mache to try to make a faux stone on my dollhouse for Cora, and I'm using egg cartons here that I soaked for about 4 days or so. And so what I did was when I rinsed out the water and added like 4 cups of water here to this, and a little splash of bleach just to kill any germs if there was anything. And I'm mixing it up right now with this hand mixer, which I use only for this purpose, crafting and that kind of thing. It went by really fast. I have done this with boiled newspaper before that was shredded, and I had a really hard time with it. This seemed to work really good soaking it for a few days, so I think I'm going to continue with that. So I wanted to test this out to see if I could just put glue with this and it would work for like a faux stone or rock's face, and it worked pretty good. So I'm just going to blend it really nice and make it really mushy here, and then I'm going to strain it. I'm going to have a strainer and I'm going to squeeze it out, all the moisture, as much as I could possibly do by hand. So here I am now going to be straining this, and I got a mesh strainer here, and I just grab a handful and start squeezing and straining, getting my trying to figure out what am I doing here, and keeping the water on one side and keeping the drier mix on the other side. So this is just egg carton. Like I said, I did fresh water, like 4 cups of fresh water, and a little splash of bleach in this mixture that I am taking the paper out of now. And I just in case, because it was sitting in the water for a few days, I didn't want any bad smells or anything. It seemed okay, but just in case. And because it's also got to be on my project for a few days drying, I didn't want nothing growing. So that's why I did that, just for my own peace and mind. So I just kept scooping it out and squeezing it by hand, squeezing as much as I could and pushing it into the mesh and getting that moisture out. Now I have this mix ready for, it's just the egg carton, and I squeezed all the water out. And now I am ready for some glue, to put some PVA glue, just regular school glue. I used Elmer's, and there you go. And I'm just going to mix that in there. I don't have measurements, but you can see I'm just putting it in until I get the consistency of something I can easily spread with a knife or something like that on my project. And I actually use like a kind of a big cake spreading tool or something, I don't know, for that, but that's what I used. And I just hand mixed it. I don't think I tried to glue, oh maybe I did try to use the mixer, it didn't work. I just hand mixed it after I think I played with the glue. I mean the hand mixer a bit, but the squishing it, I felt the consistency and playing with it just how I wanted it. And yeah, I kept adding it until I got it to that nice spreading consistency that I thought would be really easy to put on the project. So this is the project. I have egg cartons glued to my project here in Cora's dollhouse, and I'm just spreading it on. First of all, with the spatula, didn't work too well. It was too soft, so then I ended up using something better to spread it with. And that is, yeah. I found the spatula just a little bit too soft, and I think I moved it to like a cake, whatever that is, a cake spreader thing, icing spreader. Anyway, that worked better, and I just put it all over, and yeah. It took quite a few days to dry, but like I said, I think about 4 days, but like I said, because I put it on top of the egg cartons because I wanted it to be not such a huge, I wanted it to be up and lifted from what's going to be the treehouse part of it, the wood. And so the egg cartons below gave it a base for the rocks or the stone look to sit on. And yeah, so that took a few days to dry. And I'll show you at the end how it looks. I think it looks great. I shape it, push my it into the fingers and make little dips and valleys and whatnot for my rock and stone to look realistic. It didn't shrink. It looks really great, and I'm really pleased with the outcome. But I found this to be a really nice way to do a big chunk of rocks on this project. So next, what I did here, and I'm just finishing up, what I've done next is I kind of grabbed a piece of foil, and here I am. I rolled it up a bit and just pushing into the clay or whatever it is that I made here, this paper clay stuff, to make more of a rock look on the surface, so it wasn't too smooth, and I really like that look. So it really did change it for me and made it look more rocky, and I like that. So I just pressed that in all over and really pushed hard and made it nice indents and shaping it. Particular video, but I want to share with you the outcome. I had to wait for this to dry a bit of the kind of paper clay stuff that I made. So this is it. It's really rough, and I wanted it to be rough, so then it can be like stone on Cora's dollhouse. And I just wanted to do a quick show of that. It's very hard, really hard. And now I'm just ready to paint it and make it look like more kind of like rock. But I wanted to share that it didn't really shrink too much and that kind of thing. So I didn't give you the measurements, but I gave you kind of how, with the video, hopefully you got the gist of it, where you just kind of mix the glue until it's really pliable and you can spread it. And that was the glue and the egg cartons, and I soaked those egg cartons for a few days. That's why I threw some bleach in there, just so that it wouldn't mold or anything like that when I was mixing it. But that's the only reason why I threw that in there, and because I just left it in the bowl and let it soak instead of boiling the water and all that kind of stuff. I just did that. I'm not sure if it made it hard or softer, but a lot of people boil their water and boil their paper and that kind of thing, and when I've been watching other things on YouTube and that kind of thing. And so just for me, I just soaked it. Instead of using the energy of boiling, I just soaked them, and it worked pretty good, I think. So this is it. This is one part of the rocks. As you've seen, I'm just going to turn this over a bit. Here's some more egg cartons here that I just hot glued down. I just spread it over top of the egg cartons and make the stone look. So then I have like my tree parts that are going to be here and my stones and that kind of thing. So I hope that was useful for any kind of small projects that you want to make it look like stone. I'm not sure if you can use it for anything else. Maybe you can, I don't know, but I really want to try to make this stone look, and it worked pretty good. And I think it's pretty hard. Like, I'm pretty pleased with it. I hope you guys can hear me over when I talk on the computer. Usually I have to do like a narrative thing because it doesn't hear me. But anyways, that is that, and if not, I'll have to talk over this part. And it turned out really nice, so I think I'm just going to have to add a little bit more stone here, but that was my first batch. And yeah, just mix the glue until you get that consistency where you can spread it with a knife or something like that. Thanks friends for watching. Bye bye.